Hello everyone, welcome back to Kaizen Spirit. My name is Sudeep and today I am going to show you some self-defense techniques. So let's get started. So when we talk about self-defense, most of us start thinking about the fancy moves, twisting someone's arm, dragging someone and all these things. But let me tell you one thing, that these techniques are not going to help you in a real scenario unless you know the basics as well. Well, the self-defense techniques, the courses will only help you when you know the basics. Unless you know that, you cannot perform it in a real scenario. I have seen many people who come to learn self-defense technique, and then when we ask them to show what they have learned in a real scenario, they start thinking. They will stand for a while and start thinking what comes next. Do you think in real time scenario you are going to get that much of time to start thinking and recalling the moves? The attacker is not going to say, okay, so this is your first time in such a scenario, let me give you 45 seconds to recall your move. Is it going to happen? No, right? So when it comes to basics, the first thing that I want you to learn is how to punch. I know most people know how to punch because they have seen it in a movie or somewhere else. But have you evaluated that is the proper technique which you have learned? So let me show you how you can punch perfectly. First of all, let me show you how to make a fist for punching. Keep your hand like this, okay? Then curl your fingers inward. Then twist this thumb inside, and here comes the thing you need to focus. This finger should be like this, inside, okay? It should not come out like this. This you have to practice and you have to consciously do this in the initial days, else it will keep sticking out like this. And when you punch with your finger, with your thumb sticking out, you know what will be the consequence. You can injure your thumb and your total wrist as well. I have seen people learning martial arts for 6 months and still when they start punching their thumb sticks out like this. So this is not going to help. This is very dangerous. Remember that. So in the initial days, in the learning days, consciously make an effort to keep your thumb like this, okay? Inside. Pull it inward like this, okay? And you are all set to deliver a punch. Same thing you have to practice in both the hands, in the left hand as well. In the left hand, you might have to give a little bit of effort if you are a right-handed person, okay? So this should be the position. Take a closer look, okay? So once you have practiced how to make a fist, let me show you the next steps. The second most important thing while punching is this. See this. You have to keep this part completely straight. Okay, you cannot bend it like this. You have to think that this is a straight line and it cannot bend from this part. Okay. So when you punch, it should be like this, straight, and this should be strong enough. Okay, let me show you. Your wrist should not bend in any case at all. Okay, like this. It should not bend like this or like this, like this. So you have to keep this strong and tight. In case you are not keeping it strong and hitting a powerful punch and it is bending from your wrist part, it can cause very serious damage. So please be careful and keep this part in mind. So two things you have to be very conscious about. First thing, your thumb should not stick out. Second thing, this should be straight, completely straight. It should not bend. Okay. The mistake that most people make is thinking that the power of the punch comes from your arm itself. No, that is not the case. It won't be that powerful if you do not use your whole body. The real power of the punch does not come from your arm itself. It comes from your feet and the twisting of your hip. I will show you the exact movement. Okay. When you are punching, the movement should come from your hip and your feet. Okay, like this. That was the basic movement you need to deliver a punch. The twisting of your feet and your hip as well. So let me give you a demonstration of what exactly is the difference in the punching power when you use only your arms power and the power from your entire body. In the first case, I will use only my arm and not my entire body, and I will hit this punching bag, and you can see the difference in power. I am going to use only my arms, okay, not my entire body. So in this case, I am giving a lot of power from my arm, but the impact is not that much. Now I am going to use my whole body to deliver a punch to the punching bag. Let's see. In the second case, I am giving very less power from my arm. The main power is coming from the twisting of my body, and this is going to make a very big impact on the opponent or the attacker or the target, whatever you can say. So you will need little bit of time to perfect this move. So you have to keep practicing. You do not need a punching bag to practice a punch. You can simply punch the air. Once you practice the movement, the twisting of the hip, you are all set to deliver a very powerful punch to your opponent. You need to learn how to punch using both your hands, the left and the right, because you do not know the scenario where you have to defend yourself. So you need both your hands ready, the left and the right as well. So let me show you a demonstration of how you can punch. So when it comes to punching with your left hand, you have to do the same thing. You have to twist your hip like this. Remember that the twisting of your hip is compulsory. You cannot avoid that. Without that, a punch does not have any power. So this is what you need to do to practice punching. First of all, get in the fighting stance. Find a fighting stance which is useful for you. Obviously, you are not going to be in fighting stance when you are under attack. But for practice, you need to do that. Okay. So practice step by step. First, by making a fist properly so that you do not have to pay any more attention to the thumb sticking out. Okay. Make this natural. Second, you have to keep this straight. Third, you have to use the power from your feet and from your hip, and finally you have to deliver the punch. This is what you need to do in order to practice. Follow this. So let me tell you a big secret. If you know how to punch properly with both your hands, you do not need to learn any self-defense technique. In case you want to learn something extra, that is fine, but you need to know the basics. So whenever you are practicing punching, you have to imagine an opponent in front of you who is of the same height as you are, and you have to target his face. Once you get good enough in targeting the face, you can target any other part of the body. If you want to test this, that if punching is actually working in a real scenario or not, then you can call one of your partners, ask him to attack you in a controlled manner. Then in first scenario, use your self-defense techniques that you have learned by twisting his arm, catching his arm, dragging him, sweeping him, whatever you have learned. And in the second scenario, again ask him to attack you in the similar manner and find an area which you can target and punch. Let's say he is catching your arm like this and twisting it. You can find any area to hit, his abdomen, his face, anywhere. You have to deliver a proper and powerful punch. But as you are practicing, keep the power low. After you have done both the scenarios, ask him in which scenario he will be afraid to make another move. In the first scenario where you showed your imperfect self-defense techniques, or in the second scenario where you delivered a perfect punch. You will get your answer. If you are able to deliver a perfect and powerful punch, your opponent will know that you can cause a lot of damage, and he will think 10 times before making any other move. As you know, practice makes a man perfect, so keep practicing and you will get better at punching. In my next videos, I will show you many other basic self-defense techniques which you will need to learn, and these techniques can be performed by anyone. Anyone without any prior knowledge of martial arts can do this. So that is all for today's video, and I hope this video helped you in getting 1% better. If you really enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so that you get notified whenever I release new videos every week. Thank you and have a great day. Goodbye. Awesome.